Hello everyone, welcome to another informative episode on White Davy Gardening and Worm Farm. So this is an update on what I am doing with the European Nightcrawler bin. So this is the base that I've created. So now I have the wheels on. The two front wheels can turn and the other two cannot. So it makes it easier for me to move the cart around. So this is what it looks like. Now I am going to be putting the bin in place, and then I'm going to be starting the European Nightcrawler bin. The wheel of this base is also lockable so that it doesn't move around if I don't want it to. As you may be able to see, I have some amount of shredded paper and food scraps in there already. I also have a plastic bag with food scraps in there that I was storing in there to keep it away from mice. So I'm just going to extract that now. I love this bin. No mice can get in there. It would be difficult for them to do so. So in here I have some corns that I harvested that weren't fully mature. So I froze them. Then I took them out and allowed them to thaw out. So now I'm going to be putting this in here. I know it is a lot, and combined with the food scraps that I already have in there, the worms will not be able to finish that in 2 months, but that's okay. Because I don't have a lot of European Nightcrawlers. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in my shredded paper and shredded egg carton. Pretty high, so it's a bit difficult to access, but the main point is to keep it up off the ground so that it doesn't freeze, because the ground is solid concrete, so it will freeze. Okay, so now I'm going to get some water and wet it down. I used pretty much all the water I had in here, and I was tending to my worm bin this week. So this little watering can of water is all the water I've got in here. the food scrap has some amount of moisture for itself. And on Monday, when I'm looking after the worms, I'll just bring in sufficient water and wet this down some more. I'm so happy. I don't have to wait until Monday. I just decided to check the location where I keep 2 buckets with extra water just in case I run out. And apparently I had 1 bucket left in there. So I don't have to wait until Monday to finish watering the bin. I wish I had spent the time to count how many European night crawlers I have. So I'm wondering, should I turn off the camera and spend some time and count how much of them I have, or at least how much of them I'm putting in here, or should I just go ahead and put them in there now as is? Got a lot of bedding in there. About 1/3 of the drum is bedding. I just had an idea. I'd like to know how high my drum is off the ground, and then I can see if any of it freeze over the rest of the winter. So that is 13¼ inch off the ground. So let's see if it will freeze at that height. I don't expect it to, but when I'm in here long enough, sometimes my toes do get cold and I'm in a mild winter boot. Okay, so call me crazy for spending 2 hours counting worms, but I really wanted to know. So I just counted 598 worms, European night crawlers, and I'm sure I've missed some because, as you can see, it is pretty muddy, so getting in between them to count them is a bit of a challenge. I started out with eggs, 350 eggs at the end of June. They were actually shipped in, what was that, April, but they took 3 months to get here. And I started out with 350 eggs. And so this is the material that I just went through. I'm going to be putting back that in the bin and restart the bin. And in here, these are the European night crawlers. I am seeing all sizes, from hatchlings all the way up to mature worms. I don't know how long it takes for them to reach their full size of about 12 or so inches or close to, but these are the worms. So now I'm going to be taking the majority of these and I'm going to be putting them in my new European night crawler bin that I just set up. I'm so excited. I want to see. So there they go. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be so much fun. Look at all those guys. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna put any more than that. So I think that's about 2/3 of them in their new home. Oh, I see one. Oh my goodness, I gotta get him down. I don't want him to stay on the side there and possibly die. Let's see, where are you? I just saw you somewhere there. Ah, there. I was able to knock him off. I'm just scanning the bin to see if I see any more on the sides. So far, no. So that's pretty good. I'm going to shred. Yeah, maybe I should just put a light in there and let them move down. They will find the food scraps. So that is it, guys. I just started my large European nightcrawler bin. You will see the rate at which they reproduce. So far, assuming that all 350 eggs that I got at the end of June hatched, then it would mean that I have 250 more worms than when I started in June. These poor guys suffered so much. 3 months in transit, traveling from England to Canada. So now they finally find a nice home. Hopefully it will not be too cold in there for them. But the good thing is that the European night crawlers can withstand a certain amount of cold, because my sister has her bins outside. They don't have any blankets on them nor anything, just the plain bin as is. And they survive. So they're in my garage, which is heated. So, and they're elevated off the floor, so they should be fine. Just gonna cover those guys over. I hope that the holes I have in here is enough. There's no reason why it shouldn't be, in comparison to the amount of holes that goes into regular size worm bin. I should think this is a lot, but because the bin is so high, then we'll see. So in here I'm going to be putting a bit of shredded paper, but first I'm going to empty these guys back out in here. Oh yes. So I'm going to put some shredded paper in here, and then I'm going to put back the finished compost that they are feeding on. And and they have some food scraps in it as well, so I won't be feeding them, and the bin is extremely moist, so there's no need for me to water it. So guys, this is my update on starting my European nightcrawler bin. If you enjoy this video, please take a moment to like, share, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to my channel for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.